What's going on, everybody? Today we're checking out this Dean Select V in Classic Black. Let's hear it in a track real quick and then we'll have a little chat about it. So if you've been keeping up with the channel, you would know that about 4 or 5 weeks ago, this guitar arrived. A full disclaimer, Dean did send me this guitar, so a massive thank you to Evan and everybody on the Dean team for sending me this to review. Now, just taking a guitar out of the box and playing it and going, oh wow, it's awesome, I got a free guitar, how good is this, isn't really how I wanted to do a review. So I wanted to let the guitar settle in. I wanted to play it a bunch here. I actually wanted to gig it, and I did gig it. Normally I play a PRS SC245 live with Ragdoll, so I did about the first half of our set with this guitar, and there are a few really interesting things that I noticed. One is how ergonomic it was to play. If you have a look, the back of the neck is a wonderful satin finish, and one thing that I noticed at playing it live was it was so slick and so fast. I was super sweaty at this show that we played. It was really, really hot on stage, and the neck didn't get clammy or sticky or anything like that. So that's a big plus. And the other thing is that, you know, besides looking awesome and playing a V, I had so many people come up to me and be like, man, I've never seen you play a V before. That was awesome. You know, I felt like I was a member of Judas Priest or something. Is that the natural angle that a V kind of sits on is really ergonomic. You know, like normally with a normal guitar, you'd be playing sort of with your hands in a line, which is not really very comfortable to play guitar. Normally, if I'm playing here sort of sitting down, I'd have my hands set like this, and essentially playing live, you know, the guitar sat a bit lower, but it felt like that. It was really, really comfortable. The other thing that I absolutely dig about this guitar is how good the pickups sound. These are genuine Seymour Duncans. This is a JB in the bridge, one of my favorite pickups of all time, and a 59 in the neck. So they're great for rock and metal style playing. But I was really surprised at how nice this neck pickup sounds for some clean sounds. I'll give you a sample of that right now. You'll mostly hear the neck pickup, but you will hear all three pickups with this kind of pristine, clean sound. And of course, the JB's are really tight, mid-focused humbucker, so it sounds great with classic rock-style amps and with Marshalls, you know, if you're into the Schenker thing, or the Scorpions or Priests. Let's have a listen to some crunch tones with it. And let's hear it through my main live Axe FX 3 preset. You'll hear some chunky rhythm tones, and then I'll kick on all the gain and some delay, the cheat codes as I like to call them, and play a bit of lead guitar with it. So that's what it sounds like. In terms of the specs, we've got an ebony fretboard, which is really, really nice and smooth. Big, tall frets, which for me, I really, really like. And we actually scanned this guitar on a plec and found that the fretboard itself was very, very straight. That seems like it should be a given, but there's so many other guitars at such a higher price point. A lot of my guitars that I own that I've had scanned that do not have straight fretboards like this guitar. So the fact that it's an Indonesian-made guitar with a really straight ebony fretboard has kind of set it up for a good life. You know, if these frets wear out after 5 or 6 years and I get it refretted, I know I don't have to go back and have the fretboard planed or corrected or anything like that. The back of the neck, the satin finish is unreal. It's so smooth. I love it, and now when I pick up some of my other guitars, I kind of miss that smooth satin feeling. The pickups sound great. I like that they've gone for genuine Seymour Duncans, and I like they've gone with the JB and the 59. I think that's a really great combination. You know, if you want lots and lots of gain, you can get that from your pedals or your amp these days. Having pickups which aren't too hot, you know, they're not too weak sounding, they're like right in that Goldilocks zone. For what I like anyway, means that you can actually play clean with them. You can play classic rock and you can go through and do all the heavy metal stuff with them. The pots are really nice. You know, the bridge did need a little bit of notching because I went up a string gauge, and I did need the nut changed again because I went up a string gauge. One thing I will mention as well with the nut, the string angle, the splay angle is massive on this guitar. I mean, look at the size of that headstock. And I found that from the factory, the splay angle wasn't really enough. So that might be something, if you want to pick up one of these guitars and go up a string gauge, when you have it set up, have that splay angle corrected. That's probably my big gripe with any type of guitar like this with a big headstock, is the splay angle. But that's certainly not unique to this guitar. But if they were to have that from the factory, that would be a big, big plus. Same thing with having the saddles notched a little bit deeper for heavier gauge strings. Because let's face it, you know, people who love metal are going to love this guitar, and it looks amazing. So you may as well have it set up from the factory like that, in my opinion. But then again, I'm not most players anyway. So in terms of finish imperfections, the actual finish and fit is really, really good. You know, all these little zones like around here near the pickups, there's no paint on any of the binding or anything like that. So their finishing process is really tight. The only thing, there's a couple of little marks around the 2nd and 3rd fret on the binding that I saw, but the rest of the frets are really good. The actual fret edges are really smooth as well. So the thing that I like as well is it just looks so classy. You know, it's got this multiply binding, it's black, it's got the satin neck. The headstock, you know, take it or leave it. Personally, I really like it just because when you're standing on stage and you've got like backlighting, it looks so imposing. It's like a big Viking hammer or something like that. So if you're going to be playing rock or metal with this guitar, you're probably going to be playing outrageous stuff anyway. You know, let's face it, this isn't really a guitar you take down to your local jazz night. This is a rock and a metal machine. And I'm really, really happy with the way it sounds and the way it plays now. So again, a massive thank you to Dean for sending me this guitar to review. I think for 850 American dollars, you definitely get 850 American dollars and more worth of value, whatever that works out to be. In Australian currency, if you want to know more, you can check out the video descriptions and watch my first impressions review. And you can also go and find more information from the Dean website. Let me know what you guys think of the way this guitar looks and sounds. I would love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching.